get started. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Start with Elder Pasha Tahar on down. Double honor to the head and the elder of the men of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give another shout out to you sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. All right, to y'all, I like to say shalom. All right, now coming back to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Rashad with another exhortation video. All right, Lord willing, the video be found edifying. And I wanted to do a lesson, all right, on this article that I saw in the end time headlines. And just more madness coming out of the devil's mouth. This man speak foolishness, man. Speak deceit to the people. Because, as you can see by the article, it says growing numbers of Americans are convinced that aliens have visited the earth. First and foremost, there is no such things of aliens, man. All right. Which, they believe the so-called UFOs, which they should be called IFOs, identified flying objects, not unidentified flying objects. But that's neither, here or there. But, these devils lying to the people, saying that, aliens are coming to visit the earth, and coming to, just coming to visit the earth and, gonna take over and rule the earth, man. And they just recently came out with a movie, if I'm not mistaken, it was Aliens. They made a new Alien movie, which that movie is, blasphemy within itself, But just go to proves, man, you Americans are dumb, man. All right, because if y'all was listening and hearkening to the prophets that Yahweh Shem Rashad set up, y'all would know that these aren't no fucking, aliens that y'all seeing. These are the chariots of Yahweh Shem Rashad, man. All right. Why you think back then our ancestors, they sung songs speaking of the chariots? All right. And one of those songs, goes like this, swaying low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry us home. You see? So our ancestors back then, they understood the chariots. They understood that those are aliens. Those are, Yahweh Shem Rashad, angels, man. It's like if I say aliens, I meant to say angels if I did, But those are the angels of Yahweh Shem Rashad, man. Those not no aliens, man. So y'all need to stop believing in and listening to what this devil is telling y'all, man. Because this man ain't doing nothing but telling y'all lies, and he just feeding y'all lies. And guess what? The more you learn that lie, the more you're gonna continue to believe that lie, man. It's hard to believe the truth once you've been lied to for your whole life. I always make that example. If you ever watch the Boondocks, if you know who Huey was, Huey was the one that was like more smart, more, in tune, with things that's going on. And pretty much he had stood up in front of all these Edomites at a party. It was like a get together they had. And pretty much he broke down the truth into all those Edomites. And they went crazy, man. What he was saying was, verbatim, I'm going to say how he said it. He was basically saying Jesus is black, Ronald Reagan is the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. And the people, went ham. They went stupid, man. They started rioting, because, they was taught that those things, that 9/11 actually happened, and that Yahweh Shai was a so-called white. They believed that. So once they was told the truth, hey, they reacted differently, man. The same with you people with this goddamn alien situation. We trying to tell y'all those are angels. Hey, well, shit. When we tell y'all that, y'all look at us like we got 5 heads, man. Y'all look at us like we just stupid. Not knowing that those are the angels of Yahweh Shem Rashad, man. So it says belief in the idea that extraterrestrial being have visited Earth is growing among the American public, according to new polling data. It says a recent national survey conducted in late 2025 found that nearly half of U.S. adults now believe that aliens have definitely or probably visited our planet at some point. This marked a notable increase from just over 1/3 of Americans who held the same belief little more than a decade ago. You see? So it's coming out that more people, more adults at that, I can understand if you was a kid believing in aliens, but man, you a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, and you still believing in aliens, man. If there was such things as aliens, it would have been done came, man. What they waiting on? You know, what are they waiting on, man? You know? And you got Esau coming out talking about, a couple years, maybe like a year or two ago, talking about he captured a chariot, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're not capturing no chariot or you have Shot. That is technology that is way above our understanding, man. You know? That is the Lord ain't even give you that understanding. That's why that's why these Edomites, they confuse on how the Lord, technology is so advanced compared to his. They can't fathom that information, and neither can we. Not on this side, But it says, at the same time, uncertainty on the issue has dropped sharply. In early surveys, nearly half of respondents said they were unsure whether alien visitation had occurred. It haven't occurred. Now, going back to the chariots, those have visited the earth. There's plenty of videos you can look up and see that you can see videos on where the chariots of Yahweh Shah, the angels, visiting the earth, because that's their job, man. You can read the book of what is it, man? Salat. I believe that's in the book of Salat. Bear with me. Hold on, Salakia. Cause I think it's like in the 5th chapter. This is the curse. I know it's in the 5th chapter, but I'm not sure what book. Zechariah. There we go. Yeah, the 5th chapter. I was correct. But yeah, like it says, man. In Zechariah 5, and we're gonna start at verse 1. It said, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying robe." Now that flying robe is a chariot, right? Those are the chariots of Yahweh Shah, flying robe. And he said unto me, "What seest thou?" And I answered, I see a flying robe. So he was asking, Zechariah, what are you looking at? And Zechariah was saying, I'm seeing a chariot. It said the length thereof is 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So he described how big it is. It's pretty decent size. Not big, but it's a pretty decent size chariot. It said, "Then said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth." So you do have the chariots, of Yahweh Shah that are visiting, but they're not aliens, man. That's the thing. They are the chariots, man. That's going to be our salvation, Lord willing, man. So there's no such thing as there's no such thing as aliens, man. All right, those are chariots of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. Whether you want to believe it or not. So let's continue to read on. It says, "Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth should be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth should be cut off as one, and everyone should be cut off as on that side according to it." You see, it says, "For everyone that stealeth Did not Esau steal us, man? And the Lord said what? He that stealeth a man and he be found in his hand, he should surely be put to death. So that's why, that's part of the reason why Yahweh Shai got the chariots, man, to deliver the elect out of the hand of our enemies, man. And Lord willing, we'll be of that man that's gonna be delivered, man, from the hand of our enemies, man. So this man stole us, and that's the reason. That's another reason why the chariots are visiting this earth, man, because it's visiting the wickedness that this earth is doing, man. The angels are taking notes, literally, everything that's going on in this earth right now, man. Whether if y'all want to believe it or not. So let's go back to the article. All right. But yeah, this proved that, you know, the angels are visiting. All right. It says today only a small minority expressed uncertainty, suggesting that more Americans are forming firm opinions either in favor of or against the idea. Skepticism had also risen, with a growing portion of the population now saying that aliens likely have not visited Earth. Yeah, ain't no alien visit the Earth, man. Those are angels of Yahweh Shai, not aliens, man. All right. It says researchers emphasize that these surveys measure beliefs rather than first-hand experience. The data do not indicate that people are claiming personal encounters with extraterrestrials. Instead, they reflect how cultural attitudes are shifting and how comfortable people feel expressing their views on the topic. And you know, they're slop. Their view is vain anyway, because at the end of the day, they don't believe in the chariots. They and the angels of Yahweh Shai. It's either they're gonna say we don't believe in aliens or we believe in aliens. It ain't gonna be, oh, we believe in the chariots of Yahweh Shai. It's not gonna be that. It's either they're not gonna believe that there's aliens, or they're gonna believe that it's aliens, man. So they thought is in vain any goddamn way, or whether they believe. So let's go over to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You see that? It says never, meaning never. Do you not know what the word never means? Mean not at all. Never in a lifetime. Not tomorrow, not today, not yesterday. Never. Never trust thy enemy. And who is the enemy, man? All right? Who is the enemy? The main enemy is Esau and Edom, man. And the Lord says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth. So you know how iron rusteth? Like if you got a vehicle or a car, hey, you see the paint that's on that car, but after a while, after that car starts sitting in the sun and, you know, harsh, you know, weather conditions, after a while, that car, you know, is going to start to rust, and you're going to see that car for what it truly is. Hey, that's like saying, okay, you get a car and you see the car rusting, you're going to be like, I don't want that shit. You know, after a while, who want a car that's rusted up? But once you see that car with paint, you're like, oh, okay. But not knowing that car still got rust under there. It's just painted. That's how Esau hide his wickedness, man. He's like a man that's got a whole bunch of paint on him. But once you reveal that paint or scratch that paint off, you see rust. That's the devil. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so it's his wickedness, man. So we're not supposed to be trusting this devil, man. When we hear this devil speak lies out of his mouth, hey, man, we're not supposed to believe it, man. Nah, don't get it wrong. Hey, you will have some of the people be whistleblowers, you know, and you know, make their own tongue fall upon themselves. But for the most part, you got to have the spirit to discern when they telling the truth and not telling the truth, man. Because these devils will lie and tell the truth at the same time. So you got, like the apostle say, you got to, you know, get the meat off the bones, you know. And in this article, hey, they trying to have y'all believe that there's so-called aliens, man. There's no aliens, man. So that's a lie that these devils speaking, man. That's why the scripture say you can't trust them. Because they either going to speak lies, man. They're going to speak a lot of lies. Why would you trust somebody who speak lies, man? And that's your enemy at that. You think your enemy is going to tell you the truth? First and foremost, your enemy told you you so-called black. Or your enemy also told you you're a so-called African-American. You know? So why would you believe somebody like that, man? You know? So the scripture tell you never trust them, man. I mean it, never. So let's go over to the book of Job. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are heads, man. So at the end of the day, the deceived that's being deceived, right? Hey, at the end of the day, y'all belong to Yahweh Shem Shah. It said the deceived, right? The one that's being deceived, the one that's been told the information. Y'all being deceived by this man. Guess what? Yahweh Shem Shah having y'all be deceived. It said the deceived and the deceivers, right? The ones that's doing the deceiving. Hey, at the end of the day, y'all all belong to Yahweh Shem Shah. Because you being deceived, right? That means the Lord is plaguing your mind to believe that. Not only that is Yahweh Shem Shah is plaguing your mind to have you believe and tell other people that those are aliens, man. So, hey, at the end of the day, y'all both being deceived. You know, because Yahweh Shem Shah putting it on your mind to tell others, man. So at the end of the day, y'all all being deceived, man. By the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah. Yahweh Shem Shah putting it in y'all spirit to believe that lie, man. And we coming to tell y'all and expose these lies, man. We coming to tell y'all that there's no such things as aliens, man. If you want the real information, the real truth is that those are chariots of Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Whether if y'all want to believe it or not, we don't care, honestly. We just telling y'all the honest truth, man. Whether if y'all want to believe it or not, we trying to tell y'all that this devil's going to come with deceit, man. That's his whole goal, man. All right. When the Lord, spoke in the book of Revelations, all right, the 20th chapter, he told you this devil's going to be loosened out of his. Matter of fact, let's get that. Revelations 20 and let's see. Okay, yeah, verse 3. Revelations 20 and 3. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So the Lord, that bottomless pit is Europe, man. All right. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So the Lord, had them down. That's what, they fell from their rulership, man. And once the Lord did that, hey, they weren't deceiving the nations no more because the Lord had them at a lower state, It says that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled. You see? So once his prison sentence was over with, the Lord released this devil, man. The Lord released the devil, and that goes back to, the Renaissance, man. That goes back to the Renaissance period where they started, coming back into rulership, deceiving the people, right? It says, till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosened a little season. And for that little season, what was one of the things he was going to do? Deceive. And that's what he's doing right there by having y'all being deceived by aliens, man. There are no such things as aliens, man. So y'all can cut that out about aliens, man. I'm tired of hearing that stupid ass topic. And not only that, man, it's folly. It's blasphemy. Matter of fact, we're going to end it with that. All right. Revelations 13, starting at verse 6. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 5. Revelation 13 and verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. You see? It says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, meaning lies, man. This man is speaking nothing but straight lies to y'all, man. The Lord told you the devil was going to do that. Who was doing that? The one that, the people that was loosened for a little season. And that little season is coming to an end. All right? Because the prophets are now on the scene exposing these lies. And that's why he hates the prophets, man. That's why he wants the prophets off the scene. That's why he's trying to ultimately destroy the prophets, man. It says, verse 6, and he opened his mouth and blasphemy against the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, God, to blaspheme his name. You see, they blaspheming the names of Yahweh Shai, you know, saying his name is Yeshua, Yahuwah. You know, I hate to say them names, but I'm just giving y'all examples of what he's saying. Yahweh, you know, Jesus. You see, all those names are blasphemies, man. It says, and he opened his mouth and blasphemed against Yahweh, God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, right? His tabernacle or what? His man. Because the Lord said, my tabernacle is with man, you know? Let's get there real quick. I believe that's in Revelations 21. Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with man, and he would dwell with them, and they should be his people. And Yahweh himself should be with them and be their God. You see them? So his tabernacle are with man. So he's even, you know, blaspheming the man of the Lord. You see? And how he's doing that? By saying that we not the people, that those small hats over there that's claiming, you know, to be the people are the true people. You see? Saying we African Americans, saying we black, we niggers, you know, so forth on, man. So this man's even speaking blasphemies against the prophets, man, the man of the Lord. It says to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, the angels, Yahweh Shai, everything in heaven, really. But for this point, the angels, man, because they dwelling in the heavens, man. Saying they little white babies, saying they aliens. You see? This devil, hey man, this devil mouth must be stopped. Like the scripture say, whose mouths must be stopped. Although that was talking about Israelites, even this devil mouth must be stopped, man. Because this man speak great lies and deceits to the people. So not only should Israel mouths be anybody who's speaking lies, period, mouth should be stopped, man. You know? So, hey, man, there is no such thing as alien, man. Please cut that out. That I had a Jake, matter of fact, and what's so crazy, this was like, maybe like a month or two ago. I had a Jake, and I don't even know the Jake like that. I was just with one of my friends that, you know, I grew up with for a little bit, just hanging, chilling. And Jake, you know, Jake was, you know, asking me, he was like, how you feel about, the people saying about the aliens or whatever. He was saying something around those lines. He was like, how you feel about, you know, the spaceships and stuff like that? And I was like, man, them ain't no aliens out there, man. I was like, them, you know, Jay was kind of halfway drunk, drunk anyway. But, you know, I was like, man, them ain't no chairs. I mean, them ain't no aliens out there, man. Them the chairs are, you know, God, them angels in there. And he was, you know, I don't know if you believe, but he was basically like, yeah, man, he dapped me up like, yeah, man, like that's what I think, you know. But you know, that's neither here nor there if he really truly believe. But hey, he probably ain't even know. The Lord probably put it in his spirit to agree with what I was saying, you know. Cause he was just like, yeah, I believe that too, man. You know, and like I said, Jake was already kind of half drunk, you know. I just came outside to chill out a little bit, and I just ran into my homeboy that I grew up with, you know, in school. You know, he saw, you know, food system. But yeah, he was pretty much saying like, yeah, man, them ain't no aliens, man. That's what they want you, like, pretty much saying that's what they want you to believe, man. Cause I was telling him like, yeah, man, them the chairs are, you know, of the angels, man. Them the chairs of Yahweh Shai. And, you know, Jake probably ain't even knew who Yahweh Shai was, but I just said it. And he was like, he basically said, yeah, man, I believe that too. Roughly paraphrasing something around those lines he was saying, you know. But like I said, Jake was damn near half kind of drunk, you know. Jake was, you know, drinking, you know. But hey, man, Lord, when this video was edifying, I'm gonna close it with giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Divine honor to the elders apostles, great millstone. All right, stop with elders apostles Tahar. Double honors to the head and the elder of the man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under. And shalom to you, Sister Akim. Shalom.